What is going on, people? It's your boy Slips Decimus. Welcome to Eating Good. I'm drained actually. I just watched The Chaser. Um, I have a really big love for Korean culture, Korean dramas. I think it started off from like Japanese anime and Japanese manga, which transitioned into mangas, which transitioned into Korean cinema. So I'm a big fan, and I've just been watching the best movies, and one that was recommended was Chaser, uh, and I can see why. It's that movie like all the best Korean movies are movies that I can't watch back to back because you need time to process what the fuck you just watched, which is the case of this movie. It's about this detective who's a pimp, ex-detective who became a pimp, and he basically has a bunch of girls, and one of these girls, well, actually, some of these girls start going missing, and he's trying to figure out why they're going missing, and he finds out that they're all going missing when they visit this one customer. So he gets this one girl to go and said, when you get there, send me the address. And this movie doesn't play out the way you think it's gonna play out. Like you have an ex-detective, you have a serial killer. So obviously the narrative you think would be, if you watch like American movies, would be this ex-detective redeems himself by finding the serial killer, and that's not what happens. They build so much suspense. There's so much that happens in this movie. I don't even know how to review it properly. But 38 minutes into the movie, they've already caught the killer. Like the detective catches him in this roundabout way, and he chases him essentially. This is so chase scene. When you find out the name of this movie is Act, because well, after he chases him and catches him, he thinks that the serial killer is just selling these girls, not killing them. So he's trying to find out like why he's selling them, and then in the police station he admits to like killing these girls, but the detective doesn't believe him, and it's frustrating because he had blood on his shirt and all these different factors, and eventually this detective forms a bond with the missing girls or missing prostitutes' daughter, and it kind of builds up the relationship. What this movie does really well is character building. It builds up these characters not in a way that redeems their character. Like at the end of this movie, you're still frustrated by this detective, ex-detective, now pimp. Like the review, when people talk about this movie, they say great movie, but the ending is frustrating because at the end of it, this girl who's still alive, who manages to escape the serial killer, who manages to call the cops, not only the cops, but call her pimp, the dude, she ends up dying. And the detective finds the killer afterwards, and even then, it ends up in this fight scene where he's just frustrated, like, why did you call the cops? Because he has a real possibility of dying here, and it's just like a very frustrating movie, and that's what you want out of a movie that makes you feel emotions. And the scary thing is, they say it's based off a true story, which I don't know, but the movie itself is a really great movie. The ending was unexpected because you would think that he would catch the killer at the end and save the girl, and that's not how it works out. And I guess that's a narrative for life, because yeah, but as I said, the movie is aptly named because he chases this killer from catching him that one time, accidentally, by the way, to chasing him in terms of the law. Because the other factor in this is the law, the police or the government, or our law structure that's structured in a way that allowed this killer to escape not only once but twice before. So yeah, I thought when I was going into this movie it was going to be like a Kira Al situation, like Death Note, but it's not. These characters are flawed. Even the serial killer is flawed. He's not particularly that smart. The detective, the ex-detective, he's also not particularly that smart. He's a flawed human being, and that kind of plays into this creation of a movie that's believable and realistic and frustrating and hopeful. And it's just this amalgamation of all these factors that make it a really good movie. but a frustrating one. So yeah, I enjoyed it, ate good with it. I need time to process it. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to catch up on some of the Korean movies that are deemed great. Um, so I think the next one I have on the list is Memories of Murder. So let me know if you want me to react to anything else, if you have any suggestions, and thank you for watching. Peace.